Okay, I should be live. I don't know when the stream's gonna come up there. Sometimes it's sooner, sometimes it's later. And I'm not sure which route I'm gonna take. I might take a little different route just to check the signal out, you know? But anyways, I am going into work late because I worked late. You know, 19-hour shift is always wonderful at work. And about 30, which, as we all know, is normal for me. But I'm heading in. I'm not late. I'm just later than I wanted to be. But still puts me earlier than most of the rest of you, so that's just me. The whole if you're not early, you're late kind of thing, you know. If you don't show up on time, you know, you got to be there at 8 o'clock. You don't walk in the door at 8 o'clock, you know. I'm generally there about 8:30 drinking coffee. Something like that. Depends on what it is. I might be there an hour or two early. Depending on the traffic of whatever region or area or what have you. I can't be late kind of thing. It causes like severe anxiety, by the way. I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but it's the fear of being late causes like this extreme anxiety that somehow I might possibly be late, and yeah, it's not good. So, but then there's the people that are always 30 minutes late or walking in the door at 8:05, you know, and they never seem to get in any trouble or anything. That's not me. I would definitely get in trouble. It's like everybody expects me to be early. Everyone expects me to do the right thing. Everyone expects me to know what to do. Truth is, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, you know? Well, like at work, I'm highly experienced, so I generally know what to do, but there are times I'm just kind of winging it, and I'm like, well, I think this is what needs to be done. I'm not sure, but we can find out. Pretty sure this will work. That sort of thing. So, Motobomb, what are you doing? Heading to work yourself. Safe travels. Awesome, awesome. I got a video. I don't know if I'm going to release it. I'm really not talking in it, you know? Because I was so tired last night. I'm feeling a little better today. My breathing's better. But it is what it is. It's like, I was trying to figure out how to get my legs off the bike. I'm like, am I going to have to fall off the bike to get off this thing? Watch out for the gravel and the dirt. They walk the equipment across. And trucks pull in and out. And all that good shit. I'm actually on part of the route for the video thing that I'm doing. I don't know when that's going to be done. I'm, you know, still working on it. I gotta figure out, basically I gotta get better at editing, and it's forcing me to figure that sort of thing out. I can't buy a new editing program, and I'm debating, there's so many things I'm debating. It's like, I need to at least go down to the free version of StreamYard, because that's killing me. I'm not really using that feature. Every once in a while I'll do a live. Is it worth paying, you know, $40-something a month for the 3 or 4 times a year that I have 6 or 7 people on there? You know, and we're talking about tires or what have you, because with my schedule that stuff's hard to plan anyways. And I believe there's a free version, and I think I'm going to go to that just so I can go into people's chats and all that. And you know, it doesn't work very good for music. If it worked good for music, I would pay, you know. But then there's actual editing software and everything like Premiere Pro and everything. You've got to pay for it. You got to pay to play. That's just kind of the way it is. You've got to pay to play for just about anything. Toga, how are you doing? Everything costs. Want you to pay. Still scratchy. It's always scratchy. But too much and every there 40 there and pay for something like the editing, which is at the point that I'm at. I don't want to go live or shoot and go with it as I need to cut out of it. Most of my editing is because 36-minute video, break it up into 29-minute video, and I've got videos to get, and do that takes up my storage on my phone because I do a lot of my editing on my phone. And because you've got to download the videos to your phone to then download it to a program, you know. And I'm gonna have to get out here in traffic. Hopefully the signal did better going that route. I don't know. We shall find out. I probably should have just went. I don't know. Not in a huge hurry. I was distracted by the flashing lights down there. Like, what is going on, man? It's a construction truck. And I gotta get the registration on this bike this month. I'll order it. It seemed to take like 3 weeks last time I did that to come in the mail. But for the moment, I've got 2 bikes to ride. This one is for sale. I've got one person who is interested. I don't know how that's gonna work. Just because life is crazy. You know, things keep happening, and in everyone's lives. But I can't afford the 2 motorcycles together. I'd be better off if I wasn't paying for this bike. I could find like an old Road King or something that somebody's getting rid of, and I could fix that up for a bike that's more suited for, you know, like me and Amy to ride, that sort of thing. I mean, we can do it on my lowrider, but I don't know, it's not exactly well suited for that. It's one of them things, it can do it, you know. I think it's better at touring than it is at 2-up, unless you both happen to kind of be small, and well, that's not the situation we're in. So need something a little bit bigger, a little bit more comfortable, you know, a little wider seat sort of thing. And I can do the work myself. There's not much I can't do. The stuff that I can't do is just because I don't have the tools to do it, you know? So, yeah, I've got to get finances in order because everything that's happening right now is just not working. I don't know if there's a cure to that situation or not. I know everything is costing so much more. Gear man, 6th gear, cool. And I'm not gonna let a bike sit in the garage and not get rode. If I own it and it runs, it's gonna get driven, it's gonna get rode. My pickup's not even gonna sit there forever. If it sat there for, you know, too long, I'll make a point to ride my pickup or drive my pickup to work, sort of thing. It just doesn't do things good. Things with rubber and seals and all that are made to get hot and cold and seal off, and they'll end up basically, you know, things dry rot, things crack, things start leaking, things start rusting that need to be making contact. So you make sure that, you know, they get some time. But it's like groceries. Trying to stay under $100 a week when I can't afford $100 a week. So I've got to make cuts somewhere. Toga, what are you saying there? Doing excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I've got to figure something out. I got to get to the point where I can start putting money back again. I was putting money back, I was doing good, and then life happened. Anyone behind me? I need to feel something. Yep, it's right there. Cool. I just figured out I need to put that on a different side. I've got a gate clicker for work, and it's one of them that goes like on your keyring kind of thing, like a garage door opener, the keyring size. I put it on a D-ring, and it's on my belt loop, so I can feel it flopping around, so that's good. I know it's there. And it's so, you know, pulling up, I can just click it and open the gate and click it behind me and close the gate. But what side does that really need to be on? On the right side, I'm gonna have access to my clutch over here, and you know, I've got my brake with my foot. On the left side, I'll have the brake, so maybe it does need to be on the right side. I'm not 100% sure on anything. I don't even know what gear I'm in. I think I'm in too high of a gear. I don't know. We'll find out. What gear is it? Not too bad. That's 3rd. Wonderful bike. I really don't want to get rid of this one because it is a fun bike to ride. It's got all kinds of power. It's easier to tour on the other bike though, and it just is what it is. I have to cut my costs down. What's going to happen if I don't is this thing's going to get repossessed. So that's not good. So I'm going to keep slipping further behind, and I'm not going to be able to catch it up. Really bad, it may be worth it to you, you know. Getting screwed ain't necessarily a bad thing. Just make sure you're into the same things, you know. Whether it's a company you work for, something you're buying, what have you. Sometimes it is your only option, and I do get that. And they got more than a set. I can't remember what their longest length of time is, but it's like, why would anyone do that for a motorcycle? That is insane. But then you look at the price of a new Harley, and it's like, I'm not paying that. There is no way in hell. I mean, they got bikes they're wanting, you know, by the time you walk out the door, you're going to spend $50,000, $60,000 on a motorcycle. And it's like, if I wanted all those amenities on a motorcycle that I was actually going to ride, I'd go buy a used Goldwing. You know, I mean, I love Harley. That is my preference, but let's get real. You know, it's they're way too expensive for that. Like this right here should be like a $11,000-$12,000 motorcycle. 15 tops. If you added some features to it. But they're going to sell it to you for $18,000, $19,000, and they're going to finance it. By the time you walk out the door, finance it. Before you've added anything to the motorcycle, you're going to be financing like $24,000, $25,000. You know, and that's going to be, oh, we're going to get the ESP, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. And it's not worth $24,000. It's an awesome bike. I love it. It's just, it's not $24,000. Nice. You know, there's very few bikes that I would put in that category. You know, they're outpricing everything. Maybe that's why they're consolidating their dealerships. Down here we had Kingwood Harley Davidson, which is where I bought this motorcycle, by the way. They were owned by the same people who own Woodlands Harley Davidson. Well, they rented the property in Kingwood and they owned the Woodlands, so they let Kingwood go. They closed that dealership and they put everything into Woodlands Harley Davidson. And I lost my hog chapter. Like, well, you can come over here, you can join the Woodlands chapter, you can join Cut and Shoot chapter. And I don't know, it's too far away. For me to go to the Woodlands or to go to Beaumont is really the same thing. I'm basically between Beaumont, the Woodlands, all the Houston dealers. They're all the same distance, except one just got a little further away. Kingwood was the closest. The next dealership who just did this yesterday, I believe, is Mancuso. Mancuso Harley Davidson in Houston. They they closed their central dealership, and now you got to go to Crossroads, which is further out. That's out, I think it's by like the Beltway and 290 area, 290 or 249, somewhere in that area, you know. But anyways, it's on the northwest side of Houston, out by the, I believe, the Beltway. And it just makes it that much further, that much more of a, I mean, for me already to ride to the Woodlands, that's like I gotta find stuff. They're far enough away that I need to find something else that I need to do to make that trip worthwhile to do. If I'm just riding out there for the reason, you know, I'm not gonna be riding out there just to bullshit or go to some Friday night event they're wanting to do or any of that. It's too far away. And then for a hog chapter, I do have a riding group that I haven't been able to ride with in a while. I need to go ride with them. I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm not going to get home at like 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and then you know, at getting things ready, or actually probably leaving, you know, 4:30 to go meet them somewhere over in, like, you know, the Woodlands, Conroe area. Woodlands is just south of Conroe. Most people would think of it as Conroe or Spring. It's between them. And, you know, I wouldn't get any sleep. I'd be too tired. I'd get off work too late. I guess it'd be one thing if I had a normal job and, you know, I'd get off at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. I don't even know what that is. I mean, it's like, I heard of this thing that, you know, office people do. I think it's called a lunch break. I don't know. I've never had one. From what I understand, they actually take time off of work, sometimes even paid, you know, and their employer lets them go do whatever they're going to do for like 30 minutes or an hour, and they generally go eat their lunch or something to that effect. What gear am I on? Okay, there's a gear. Yeah, we don't get that. I've always worked jobs where you just work until the job's done, and that's just what it is. There we go. I don't know what office life is. Get all dolled up to go sit in a chair and push buttons on a computer, and I have no idea what that's about. Working from before sunup to long after sundown, you know, that due to physical exhaustion. It's the only reason I have anything, you know. I'm pretty sure I could take one of them jobs. They don't pay that much. And I could probably do it. I don't know how I'd pay for a home with what those things pay. But come be a secretary for minimum wage. Hell no. No. It's like not even worth going to work. It's like, so I'm going to go to work and back all week. I'm going to get a paycheck from you, and I'm still going to be homeless. No. What's the point in going to work at that point? Our devalued US dollar is increasingly worth less and less and less. This stretch right here, I'm pretty sure it's gonna the signal's gonna break up, so if it does, just hold on with me there. Aubrey, how are you doing? See your comment down. I do look at the comments every once in a while. But anyways, it's probably going to break up through here. If it does, I'm sorry. I can't control the signal everywhere. It's been pretty good so far. But life is just costing way too much money. Now, I remember working places give you like of living. And I'll still live in your it is. If living went up X amount, we're increasing your hourly rate X amount, so we're giving you a raise, because in order for you to get paid the same amount as you got paid last year, you know, for you to be worth the same pay, we're going to have to give you a quarter more an hour, or a cost of living raise is making more money. And you think about that, that all they've really ever got is dollars an hour, and now they're making, you know, $12, $13, $14 an hour. And if you really think about it, that they're making probably worth about worth less because those cost of living raises do not actually keep up. The free plan. It's a good source. Hold on, peeking out every month, so I gotta correct that. If I fix that, and stream gonna probably be close to like $100 a month, right there. I've already gotten rid of KTV and else. Trying to, what do you call it, streamline my finances. And I'm not the only one in this boat. I'm not the only one that has any problems with any of this. And I know a lot of y'all are having the same exact problems basically that I am. You know, it might not be like you bought 2 Harleys or that sort of thing. I am fortunate that I do make decent money that allows me to fall behind slowly instead of crashing to the bottom. I don't know if that's better or worse, you know, to just get it over with. But yeah, I know so many people right now that are making more money than they've ever made in their lives. And they're falling behind. That's probably the biggest problem as far as the average American citizen goes. Working class, blue collar, you can be white collar, it don't matter. But the people that actually keep this country running, you know, most of the people making our laws we can do without them. They're really not important. Their existence isn't anything that's going to make or break the rest of us. They're unnecessary, you know, not as a human being, just, you know, their jobs. The rest of us, you know, the ones who actually do the work, we're making more money than we've ever made, and we're all falling behind. We're all struggling. And, you know, that's not government waste, that's not government this or whatever. It's, you know, yeah, the left's gonna cut the right's gonna cut the left when they get in power. You can go back through and look at all of them talking about it, and they got way too much power with that pen, whether it's Bush or Obama or Trump or Biden. And, you know, I think a lot of things need on more legislation. But I mean, actually fix inflation, because the goals of reducing inflation down to such and such number, and that's really what's killing us, you know, is the devaluation of the money. The Federal Reserve is killing. Its Federal Reserve is kind of illegal to begin with. I could get into a whole argument about that. You know, all these. Oh, don't want to go out that way. Nation started in the middle of the night without everyone's votes, and it's the only reason they exist. That sort of thing. You know, our money really doesn't have any real value. But it's like, you don't hear either side talking about getting inflation down to zero. And maybe negative inflation, maybe, You know, that would give everyone across the board a raise. You don't have to raise minimum wage to raise the value of the dollar. You know? But none of them are going to fix that. Everything's a show, and we're all fucked in the end. The left's going to push that swing hard to the right, you know, like in their face, and the right's going to do the same to the left, and they keep pushing it, kind of like when you're a kid and you're pushing your friend on the swing, and eventually it tops over. I don't know what happens when it tops over, because in this case that swing is our economy, you know. But I know truck drivers that are looking at getting laid off right now. Where are they gonna go? Like, oh, you always hate that argument. You can't just take a job anywhere to work or what have you. Well, not really. Not when the government ships your job off, or when some corporation ships your job off, and you were making this amount of money and the only jobs are making this amount of money, and you're going to lose your car, your house, and everything. You can't feed your family. So, well, why don't you just go work at Walmart? Well, I'm glad you want to pay for my family's food, because that generally means welfare, because the American public pays most of Walmart's wages for their employees. And your tax dollar and all the benefits that they collect, because they can't make enough money to pay their bills working there. So how do we fix that problem? I don't know. I know fixing my problem is probably going to start with canceling StreamYard. Small steps, baby steps. And selling this bike and keeping the other one. Because can I really do anything about the rest of it? No. I can bitch about it, but no one's going to listen to me. I'm just some dumb bitch on a motorcycle, working my ass off, that worked a 19-hour shift in a job that legally you're only supposed to work 14 hours a day, but we routinely work, you know, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19 hours. And if anyone ever gets in trouble or what have, it's the driver. You know, they don't go back on corporations and shit, you know. They're going to punish the drivers, not the shippers and receivers and the brokers, and that's the way it always is. You know, kind of like the same with, oh, all the illegal labor and everything. Why are you going after them? Go after the companies that hire them, but they don't actually want to stop it. They want it as a political tool. They could stop that shit tomorrow, but that would not benefit either side to stop it. So, I will catch y'all later. Adios, vaya con Dios, sayonara.